You did not find this by accident. Nothing in your world is random. Everything shows up precisely when it must. And this message, this very moment, is a sign. Your breakthrough has already begun. You may think you are still waiting, still hoping, still climbing. But understand this: what you believe, what you assume, is already shaping itself into form. If you can see the shift, even if only faintly, it means it has already taken place in your unseen world. You do not need to chase. You do not need to strive. The moment you claimed the desire in your imagination, it was done. The only question now is, can you dwell in that knowing? The version of you who has already received the breakthrough is not out there. It is within you now. You must embody the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Speak as though it's done. Walk as though it's real. Rest in the quiet confidence that it is already accomplished. Because the truth is simple. The world will not show it to you until you show it to yourself. And now that you see it, it is here. Your job is not to make it happen. Your job is to align yourself with the unseen reality already set in motion. Move in faith, not blind faith, but faith in what you have already accepted in your imagination. This moment confirms it: the timing, the message, your inner pull. These are not coincidences. They are echoes from the future telling you it is done. So stand firm. Assume the position of one who has already crossed the line. Don't question the how. Let life orchestrate that. Your only task is to stay faithful to the vision, to live in the feeling of the outcome. You have crossed into a new timeline. A version of you is already celebrating. Now step into it. It's yours. Your world as you know it is not built from the outside in. It is shaped and formed from the inside out. Every condition, every circumstance, every relationship you encounter is but a reflection, a mirror of the dominant assumptions you carry within your own consciousness. It does not matter what others say, what events unfold externally, or what logic dictates. What matters always is what you believe to be true about yourself and your reality. And when that belief changes, the entire world must bend to it. You are not a victim of fate or a puppet of chance. You are the cause. Life does not happen to you, it happens through you. The outer world is like a screen projecting the film of your inner world. If you begin to notice a shift in your reality, even a small one, it is because something inside of you has moved. A silent assumption, a new self-concept, a deep inner acceptance has taken root, and the external is simply catching up. Most people are trapped in the illusion that they must first change what is outside to feel different inside. They chase validation, success, love, and freedom as though these things are out there to be conquered. But the truth is this: nothing changes out there until something shifts in here. The outer reflects the inner, always and without exception. You are looking at your own beliefs, clothed in time and space. You are watching your assumptions made visible. When you begin to assume differently, to truly see yourself as worthy, powerful, chosen, successful, your reality must respond. You will find yourself in new situations, meeting new people, drawing different outcomes, but it won't feel forced. It won't feel like effort, because these things are not attracted, they are reflected. You don't magnetize what you want, you reflect what you are. If you assume lack, life will reflect that to you. If you assume love, life will mirror that back, not because the universe is judging you, but because your inner world is the blueprint. Your dominant feeling, your sustained mental image, becomes the mold from which your experiences are poured. The law is precise. The mirror does not ask whether you like what you see. It only shows you what you are giving it. This is why inner work is not a luxury, it is the foundation. When you close your eyes and enter the quiet sanctuary of imagination, you are not escaping reality, you are forming it. You are choosing the seeds to be planted, and once planted, they will grow, quietly, steadily, and inevitably. Your job is to assume the harvest is already yours. So if today you feel something has shifted, if you notice new peace, new confidence, or even new discomfort, know that something deeper is taking shape. The outer reflects the inner. That means your breakthrough, your answered prayer, your long-awaited change is not coming, it has already begun. Hold the new assumption, dwell in it, persist in it, for the outer must follow the inner, just as surely as night follows day. Reality does not begin with what your eyes see or what your hands can touch. It begins in a place far more powerful and far more silent, your imagination. Everything that appears solid, real, and external was first conceived in the invisible realm of consciousness. The outer world is only the final stage, the echo of something much deeper. What you accept as true in your imagination, what you entertain, feel, and believe with conviction, becomes the very substance of your experience. This is the great secret that most overlook. Consciousness is not passive. It is the creative force behind all that exists. You are not merely observing life, you are generating it. Every thought accepted as real, every feeling consistently held, every scene vividly imagined in your inner world, weaves itself into the tapestry of your outer life. What you assume to be true becomes true for you, not because of chance, but because your state of consciousness determines the shape and form of your reality. Most people live reactively, believing their circumstances dictate what they are allowed to feel or imagine. But the truth is the exact opposite. Your feelings and imaginings shape your circumstances. When you begin to deliberately accept something as true in your inner world, without needing permission from the outer world, you activate the hidden machinery of creation. Life begins to reorganize around your new assumption. Doors open, people appear, situations shift, not through effort, but through alignment. Your breakthrough does not begin when the money comes, the opportunity lands, or the healing shows up. Your breakthrough begins the moment you believe it already has. That belief, when felt deeply and consistently in the quiet of your soul, sets everything else in motion. It does not matter what appears to be true now. What matters is what you are choosing to make true in your inner world. That is where the real work happens. That is where transformation begins. Imagination is not idle fantasy, it is the blueprint, the creative engine, the spiritual workshop in which all things are first formed. When you use it deliberately, when you close your eyes and live from the reality you desire, feeling it, embracing it, walking in it, then you are laying the foundation for its inevitable appearance. And the stronger your belief, the faster the manifestation. Doubt, on the other hand, delays. When you waver between two opinions, when you wonder whether it's possible or when it will arrive, you interrupt the creative flow. But when you stand firm in the feeling of it already being so, without needing signs or confirmation, you collapse time. You become one with the outcome. Consciousness does not lie. It brings to life what you are loyal to in thought and emotion. The world around you is not happening to you, it is happening through you, by you, for you. Every outcome you see began as a seed in your own mind, and every new desire is a divine nudge, a reminder that you are not limited to what has been, you are always free to choose again. So choose now, choose boldly, accept the new reality in your imagination. Not someday, not when things improve, but now, because the moment you believe it has happened, it has. And the world will rush to prove you right. You are not at the mercy of life. You are not a passive observer in a world that moves without your permission. You are the operant power, the silent, unseen force that shapes and molds every detail of your experience. Nothing is happening to you, everything is happening through you, through your awareness, your belief, your assumptions, and the state of consciousness you occupy day after day. You are not a victim of circumstance, you are the author of it. The world you walk through is not random or chaotic. It is precise, ordered, and obedient to your inner state. This is the law. Whatever you accept as true about yourself, your world, and your life begins to externalize itself with absolute fidelity. Life is not choosing for you. You are choosing for yourself through the quality of your awareness. The phrase, I am, is the root of all creation. Whatever follows I am with conviction becomes the foundation of your identity, and from identity springs experience. If you constantly say, I am stuck, I am lost, or I am waiting, then life must organize itself to match that confession. But if you declare and feel, I am free, I am chosen, I am successful, then a new script begins to unfold. The change doesn't begin in the world, it begins in you. This is why nothing outside of you has ultimate authority, not other people, not the economy, not your past. These are shadows cast by your inner assumptions. The world responds not to what you want, but to what you are, to the state you consistently occupy. And you are always occupying a state. Every moment of the day you are either dwelling in limitation or expansion, in fear or in faith, in lack or in fulfillment. The beauty is this: you have the power to shift your state at any moment. You can decide to no longer identify with the version of you that is waiting, doubting, or struggling. You can move into the awareness of being the person who already has the thing, who already lives in the outcome, who already embodies the reality they once desired. This movement is internal, quiet, and deeply transformative. Understand this: there is no power outside of your own consciousness. All cause is mental. All creation is spiritual before it becomes physical. When you fully grasp that your awareness is the source of all that you experience, you stop begging the world to change and you begin to change within. That is where your true power lies. The moment you shift how you see yourself, your outer world must reflect that shift. If you become aware of yourself as someone who is chosen, worthy, and deeply secure, then people, circumstances, and events will mirror that belief. They have no choice. They are only ever responding to the vibration you are sending out from within. So take back your power. Not with force, not with control, but with awareness, with clarity, with the deep knowing that you are the one writing the script. Life is not happening to you, it is happening through you. And the story it tells depends entirely on who you are being now. Desire is not random, it is not an accident or a fleeting thought that drifts into your mind without meaning. Every true desire that rises within you, one that feels alive, rich, and deeply personal, is a signal from the unseen. It is not something you need to chase. It is a divine blueprint already imprinted upon your inner reality, waiting for your acceptance. The moment you recognize the desire clearly and feel its truth, it is already yours. In the unseen, seed has been planted. You are not desiring something that doesn't exist. You are remembering something that's already yours. The desire itself is the proof that it belongs to you. It would not call you unless it was possible. It would not stir your heart unless the way was already prepared. In fact, the very fact that you can imagine it, feel it, and see it in your mind is evidence that it has already been created for you in the spiritual realm. It waits only for your assumption, your belief, your inner alignment. Too often, people treat desire as distance. They say, I want it, but I don't have it. They make the desire something separate from themselves, and in doing so, they delay its arrival. But the truth is the opposite. When a desire emerges, it means the fulfillment is already at hand. The opportunity is already knocking. The path is already unfolding. The only question is, will you say yes to it within yourself? When you accept the desire as done, when you feel the wish fulfilled, when you embody the reality of already having it, you align yourself with the version of you who already lives it. And once you dwell in that state, your world must change to reflect it. The seed that was planted takes root. You do not have to force it to grow. You simply nurture it by staying faithful to the vision. Desire is not to be doubted. It is to be honored. It is not something to fear or suppress. It is the most personal communication between your deeper self and your waking self. When you deny a desire, you deny your own expansion. When you doubt it, you delay your own unfolding. But when you embrace it, when you say, "This is mine," you move into harmony with your higher self and the life already prepared for you. You don't need to figure out how it will happen. You don't need to make it logical or convince others. The how is never your concern. Your only task is to feel it real, to accept that what you have seen in your imagination is not fiction. It is a preview. It is a spiritual fact awaiting physical expression. The seed is planted the moment the vision is accepted, and once planted it must grow, if not interfered with by doubt or fear. Stay loyal to your desire. Speak as though it's done. Walk as if it's here. Let it live in you. The moment you felt it deeply was the moment it became real. All you need to do now is remain faithful to what is already yours. You are not here to wish, wait, or chase. You are here to assume, to know, to feel. The secret is not in striving toward your desire as if it is something distant and far away. The secret is in living from it as if it were already yours. This shift from hoping it will come to knowing it has come creates the space for the invisible to become visible. You do not need to force your way to the outcome. You need only to dwell in the state of already being the one who has it. This is what it means to live from the end. It means seeing the world through the eyes of your fulfilled desire, thinking, acting, feeling, and walking as the person who has already received what they once longed for. You are not trying to become, you are already that. And from that state, life begins to arrange itself. Doors open, opportunities arise, people and events appear, not by chance, but because you are now aligned with the version of yourself where the desire is a fact, not a hope. When you live toward the end, you are always in a state of waiting. You delay your good by saying it will happen someday, but someday never arrives. You keep the desire on a pedestal, just out of reach. This creates separation between you and your goal. But when you live from the end, you bring the desire into the present moment. You dissolve the separation. You collapse time. The key is not in outer action. It is in inner acceptance. Feel the reality of your wish fulfilled. Let it be so vivid that your inner world becomes more real than what your senses currently report. The senses will try to tell you it's not here, but your imagination knows better. The world is slow to catch up, but it must catch up. Once the state is accepted, the bridges of events will form naturally to carry you there. These bridges are not something you need to figure out. They appear as everyday situations, conversations, decisions, seemingly small things that move you directly to your desire. You will look back in awe at how seamlessly it all unfolded. But in the moment, your job is not to chase the how. Your job is to remain in the feeling of the end, to mentally and emotionally occupy the state where it is already done. This is not pretending, it is not make-believe, it is spiritual law. Your inner world is the root, the outer is the fruit. All creation begins within. You cannot expect the fruit of a thing to appear before the root is planted and nurtured. And the nurturing is done by dwelling in the state of the wish fulfilled, consistently, quietly, faithfully. So go within, find the feeling, ask yourself, what would I feel right now if it were already true? And then feel that, live that, let that be your dwelling place. From there, everything begins to move. You do not need to fight for your desire. It is already done. You only need to be the one who has received it, and the world will follow your lead. Nothing in the physical world leads your transformation. The signs you long to see, the breakthroughs, the answers, the open doors do not appear first to convince you. They follow. They arrive after the shift has occurred within you. This is why waiting for a sign before believing is a delay. The outer world is never the starting point. The moment you see this message is not a coincidence. It is confirmation. Something inside you has already changed. The signal was sent, the prayer was accepted, now the evidence must come, not to persuade you, but because you have already moved into a new state of being. The world you see is a mirror, not a master. It does not instruct your belief, it reflects it. When you change your state of consciousness, your dominant feeling, your quiet assumption, your inner knowing, the reflection must change as well. But it happens after. Just as your image in the mirror does not smile until you smile, your life does not reveal the sign until you become the person who no longer needs it to believe. This is the great reversal of how most people live. They wait, they look to the outside world and say, I'll believe it when I see it, but that belief system holds everything at arm's length. It keeps you in the state of longing, and longing is not fulfillment, longing is absence. But the moment you shift into the state of having, truly feeling, thinking, and knowing that it is already yours, the world begins to organize itself to reflect that inner truth. The signs follow, they must. When you realize this, you stop looking for confirmation outside yourself. You stop scanning your environment for clues that it's working. Instead, you rest in the deep knowing that it is done. You understand that your inner shift is the only real cause, and the outer must obediently follow its lead. This is not blind faith, it is law. So when you come across a message like this, seemingly at random, no, it is not random at all. You were drawn to it because your inner man already made a decision. You chose a new version of yourself. You began walking in a new assumption. You may not have said it aloud, but something in you rose up and declared, I am ready. That readiness is a shift. That shift is the cause. And now the signs must follow. Don't go searching for evidence, let it come. Don't force the fruit to appear. Trust that it is ripening. The sign will arrive at the appointed hour. Not to convince you, but to celebrate with you. To confirm what your spirit already accepted as true, and you will recognize it when it comes because you will no longer feel surprised, you will feel peace. It won't feel like a miracle, it will feel natural. That's the power of inner transformation. It turns your desire from a hope into a fact, and from that moment the outer must respond. So stay faithful, stay inwardly loyal to your vision. You do not need a sign to believe. Belief is the sign, and everything else, every result, every opportunity, every blessing follows behind it exactly as it should. You were never waiting for a sign, you were the sign. The moment you felt the desire, the shift had already begun. The outer world is simply catching up to the truth you've dared to accept within. You are not separate from your dream. You are not chasing it. You are it. The end you seek lives within you, and the moment you live from it, not toward it, the bridges of life unfold naturally beneath your feet. You are the operant power. Everything you seek is seeking you, because it already exists within you. Your imagination is not a fantasy. It is the first stage of creation. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you dwell in that state with persistence, the world has no choice but to conform. Signs follow, results appear, doors open. Because you no longer live in doubt, you live in fulfillment. So stand firm, not in effort, but in inner certainty. Remain faithful to the unseen, and watch how naturally life moves to meet you where you already are in consciousness. Saying thanks. Thank you for receiving these words with an open heart. May they remind you of who you truly are and all that is already yours. The shift has begun. Walk in it boldly.